Welcome back, everybody. Look who we have on the cover. We got Gene Simmons with Kerrang! Magazine, issue number 21, released July 29th through August 11th of 1982. You know the drill. Click subscribe, hit that notification bell, and any questions, comments, or feedback or requests, leave them below. Let's get to it. We're going to flip through this magazine page by page and see what's in it. All right, let's get started. Now, given by the picture of this and the issue is 1982, he doesn't look like this anymore, right? Because 1982 was already what? The Elder? I think it was. The Elder. And they already had new wave haircuts. They look kind of weird. This picture, I would imagine, is from the 1975 era. 74, 75 era of Kiss Alive. Look. You can tell by the makeup. He didn't look like this in 1982. That's just what because I'm a Kiss historian. I know all about Kiss. I think I know more about Kiss than you do. So... I love having fun with my audience. I love it. No, but this to me looks like it's from 1975. The photo. All right, look. We have Ozzy. Remember, now, I think that concert live in Irvine Meadows was recorded sometime in June or July of 82 with Brad Gillis. If I'm not mistaken. I have to double check. Remember, March 12th, Randy Rhoads passed away, right? March 12th. And then a few weeks later, it was Bernie Torme after that. But I know the Irvine Meadows show, I think it was like mid-June or July, when they recorded that live Ozzy Osbourne at Irvine Meadows. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. So they're going to have Ozzy in this magazine. Look, AC/DC, Heart, Priest, SOS, never heard of SOS. Samson, I still never heard of Samson. Tigers, or Thunderstick. Look at these bands. There's Demon again. Chinatown. Heaven. Now I do remember Heaven. They had an MTV video that was on MTV in the fall of 82. I remember I forgot. In the Beginning. I think it was called In the Beginning or something like that. I forget. But they had a video. It's pretty cool. And I like the guitar player and the guitar solo in that. I forgot there's a video on YouTube. And then we have 38 Special. And then win tickets for the Reading Festival or Reading Festival. All right, let's go ahead and see what's in this magazine. All right, again, remember Mayhem? I guess they pushed Mayhem for a later part of the magazine. So these are their top singles for this issue. For those about to rock, as far as singles, right? So here we go. If you can read that, that'll be great. I'm not going to read them all. Just to give you a glimpse of what's in this issue. Pictures at 11, Robert Plant. So they voted that as number 1 as their favorite albums of 1982. And these are all the bands right here. Again, we're not going to go through each one, but just to give you a glimpse. If you can read that on your own, that'll be fine. But you know, you get the. So these are the top hits that voters were picking right here. See my cursor? You can follow that real fast. And then these were the top import albums. We got Eye of the Tiger by Survivor. So obviously, Rocky 3 came out, or Rocky 2 or Rocky 3 came out. I forget, my years of Rocky. I have all the Rocky movies. I just forgot when they were released. But Eye of the Tiger was a big hit either for Rocky 2 or 3. So that's where that came out. And now, like Top Gun, Highway to the Danger Zone, whatever. Kenny Loggins, what Kenny Loggins did for Top Gun, Survivor did for Rocky. Look it up. Because Eye of the Tiger was like boom everywhere. You just heard it everywhere. And then the Danger Zone was everywhere in 1986 with Top Gun. So that's how it works. And then, and just like the Titanic, My Heart Would Go On and On, whatever. But that was like number 1 also. Just to give you a hint that songs can make a movie. And movies can make a song. All right, look at Demon. Look, I still haven't heard or seen of Demon. So let me know what you thought about Demon. I want to know your opinions about Demon. All right, look. So this is Kiss and Makeup. So this looks like to me from the Dynasty era. These costumes look like the Dynasty. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know what era this is. Because this is not 1982. Yeah, because look at these costumes. By 1982, they had that weird haircut with the Elder and stuff. They are together, but even louder. All right? Yeah, and Ace Frehley's here. So look at this guitar. I've always loved this guitar. And it is, in fact, Ace Frehley and Paul Stanley played with DiMarzio Stupid Distortion pickups. No joke. All right, no joke. But look, these are DiMarzio Stupid Distortion pickups. And these are DiMarzio Stupid Distortion pickups over here. Just look it up. All right, look at this. So here is Kiss. Look at these costumes. This is from the Dynasty era, which I love. If we think that mating elephants on stage is what to do, then we'll do it. That's not something like Paul Stanley would say, right? So again, this is a nice interview with Kiss back in 1982. I'll be happy to read that out loud to you at some other video. Now this is how they look in 1982. See the hairstyles? Totally weird. This is like a weird Kiss. Like a gay Kiss. Not that anything's wrong with that. I'm just saying back then this looked gay. Their outfits and the makeups. It wasn't 80s. This wasn't like Kiss Destroyer anymore or Kiss Rock and Roll Over. This was like gay Kiss. Because that's what me and my friends would call them. Because look, you got Van Halen, Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance, or you had gay Kiss. And this was gay Kiss. So that's what we called them back then. Not that they're gay, but the look was gay. It was just weird. It was a weird look. But anyways, I still love Kiss because Kiss is awesome. And I have all their albums. So that just shows you what a fan I am. All right. Mayhem. Here we go. Where are they now? Kiss My Axe. All right. So here we go. A little snippet of Mayhem. Tour news. We got Gary Moore on tour. We got Twisted Sister. We got Soldier. We got Static. L.A. Hooker. There's a band called L.A. Hooker. And Grand Prix. There's that band, Grand Prix. The First. So there must have been a band called The First. Dumps, Rusty Bolts. English Rose. Spider. There's that band, Spider again. And The Return of Real Men. Limp Arrest. I can't read that. Let me blow that up. What does that say? Limp Wristed Mayhem may be big news in the States. Look at that. Limp Wristed Mayhem. So basically they're saying that this band right here, Manowar, there we go. Manowar is real man, not these limp wristed bands coming out of the US. So already the UK people, they're attacking the US metal people. Remember, there's two types of metal. There was UK metal, then there was US metal. And US metal was amazing. Eventually they would blend together when you had the Iron Maidens and the Judas Priests, and you had the Def Leppards, and then crossbreed with the Motley Crues, and the Quiet Riots, and the Van Halens, and the Queensryche, and the Black and Blue, and on and on. Oh, I love it. I love it. Look, Dutch Delight. Howard Johnson gets a taste of new guitar hero, Aj Vandenberg. Adrian Vandenberg is a monster guitar player, and that song was all over MTV. This Burning Heart, great guitar solo. I love that guitar tone. If anyone can tell me what that guitar tone is, obviously it's a chorus pedal with some real tight delay, but I'd have to try to learn that tone. But the guitar tone for Broken Heart, I think it's called Broken Heart. That guitar solo from Adrian Vandenberg, that's a great guitar solo to learn. Great guitar tone. So I'm gonna try to learn that guitar tone. Right? Again, more on Vandenberg. Chinatown. I never heard of Chinatown, but look, beautiful Gibson SG with DiMarzio Stupid Distortion pickups. Look right here. These are DiMarzio Stupid Distortion pickups. Until you tell me otherwise, they're gonna be DiMarzio Stupid Distortion pickups. All right, look at this. What's happening here? What's happening here? You know, what's happening here? Let me go. Look at Demon. Look at Demon. See, I can't get into Demon. Look, it's too much theatrics. So, and look, with the cross, what are they trying to say that we're satanic, we're the devil, Demon? Because I never heard of Demon, and they weren't on MTV. So let me know what you thought about Demon. Look, back issues. Look, we've already done all these. Look, we have all these issues. Look, isn't that cool? We just did all these issues for you. Isn't that great? We have them all. Stay with me at KGTR to give you the best in 80s heavy metal. So that was just a little bulletin right there. To give you a little bulletin. All right. What else? Alrighty. Again, more news and singles. We got This Is the Way. Oh, isn't that cool? Remember the TV show with Baby Yoda? This is the way. Look, this is the way. So I wonder if they stole that line. What's that thing called? The Star Wars ripoff on streaming services with little Baby Yoda. Where's Baby Yoda? Is that Baby Yoda here? I thought I had a Baby Yoda. Yeah, baby. Oh, look. Yeah, see, look. Look how good I am. Look. Look. Look how good I am. Look. I'm telling you, what are you doing with Baby Yoda? Look. 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 Does that look cool? Does that look cute? Look. Look. We can do this. Let me know if you want me to do future episodes. I can put little Baby Yoda right here. Look. Let me know if you want to do future. Doesn't that look cute? Let me know if you want me to do future episodes at KGTR with little Baby Yoda. Just let me know. And look, I even have his little amulet. I'll see if I can share his little amulet with you. Let me see if I can share that with you. Look. Does that look good? Look at the little amulet. And this goes right here over the little Baby Yoda. See, look, his little neck. Isn't that cute? Look. It should be like that. It's a long necklace. Now, there we go. Doesn't that look cute? Look. And look, but look, this is the way. Now this one makes noise. In another video, I'll activate Baby Yoda. I may have to put new batteries in it, but I don't make these anymore. This is the collector's edition. This is probably worth about $2,000 right now. This model right here. So this is probably worth about $2,000. Just let me put some batteries in it, and I'll activate it for you. You're all telling you what about Kerrang magazine. Okay, I only brought up little Baby Yoda because see on this issue, this is the way, and that was like the slogan on this guy's show. This is the way. The Mandalorian. There we go. The Mandalorian. And then he kept saying, "This is the way. This is the way. We need to attack. This is the way. This is the way." So here we go. I'll put little Baby Yoda away. Look right here. Look. Let me put it away. Okay. There we go. You're all telling me how come you had it so close. Because oh wait. Let me see if I can. Let me show you this real fast. I have to show you this. Look, can you see that? Look. There is me back in 2000 I would say 2010. That's me in 2010, yeah. 2010, 2011. And that was my dog Willie, my little miniature dachshund. And then I had Pepper and Pippi afterwards. But I just happen to have a little stash here. I'm going through some stuff. And I just had, who would have thought this is the way, and then I had the Mandalorian Baby Yoda here. But next to the Baby Yoda, I had that little photo of me and Willie. So, just a little private time here at KGTR. You can't get this content anywhere. Or let's get back to this magazine issue, alright? So, what else? Alright, look, tigers. So, let me know. Look, this is gay right here. Doesn't this look gay? Look, red leather. Really? Nobody had red leather back then. Not even Ozzy or Judas Priest. And this guy's wearing a red leather jacket. Now, back in the 80s, you would say, this is so gay. And that was totally cool. Like, oh, how do I look? That's so gay. Yeah, that's what you would say. You would tell your friends that in high school. Dude, don't touch me. That's gay. Remember that? That's what you would do. Like, if you bump into somebody in the locker room at school. Oh, don't touch me. That's gay. No, because I see the red leather and it looks gay. You can't wear red leather and play heavy metal. You just don't. But let me know what you thought about tigers. Alright, look at Samson. Look at this fat, chunky guy. Now, I'm not raping because I've never heard of Samson. So, I may have to go to YouTube and check out Samson. Maybe they're hard and heavy. Maybe they're really good. But I have to hear them first. And this is a weird photograph to promote Samson, right? At least they should look tough. And this doesn't look tough. And this is not a bad picture, but all I keep staring at is this red leather jacket. And that looks gay. It just does. So. But I'm not knocking tigers. Let me know what you thought about tigers too. Right. Alright. SOS. So here's the band SOS. Again, I don't know if they're heavy metal, but the way they're dressed looks nothing heavy metal, right? There's no leather in jeans. There's no there's no wristbands. There's nothing metal about these people. But maybe they are hard and heavy. So let me know if you heard of the heavy metal band or this band, SOS, and give me your thoughts. I want to know. All right, Kansas Confession. Steve Gett asked Kansas where their glory has gone. All right, so here's Kansas right here. Isn't that pretty cool? So if you're a fan of Kansas, I can go over that. Just like that, the Steve Miller Band. Steve Miller Band, Abracadabra was huge. Abracadabra. I'm going to reach out and grab you. Something like that, right? But Abracadabra, great guitar tone, great hits. Monster album for Steve Miller Band. And then we have Q107, Homegrown Volume 4. And then we have John Waite. John Waite's good. Is there anybody there? Demon. Okay, more Demon. Look, this is too much. If this is the band and that's their image, Demon, I can't get into that. Look at Pete Townsend. All the best cowboys. I guess this is his solo debut or one of his solo records back then. Chop Fooey instead of Chop Suey. Chop Fooey or Hong Kong Fooey. Look, Chop Fooey. Is that pretty cool? All right, look at this band. Imports. We got Survivor. Eye of the Tiger. They blew up because of Rocky. And Rocky blew up because of Survivor. Because that hit was all over the radio. Eye of the Tiger. It was a good song. When it came out, it was good. It was like a hard rock song. It wasn't the metal by any means. But it was good. Just like Stevie Nicks. Just like the white-winged dove. With that little flanger phase or whatever. That made the song really good. Alright, here we go. Frankie and the Innocents. Cool Town. Again, my only problem with Kerrang! Magazine is the font is too damn small. Maybe because they were pressed for pages or costs. They just have everything really small print. Look, the long and the short of it. The continuing saga of Motor Mayhem by Steve Gett. Isn't that pretty cool? Right there. Motorhead. Thanks for that. Oh, look, there's Sharon Osbourne and Ozzy Osbourne. Look at that. I guess they got married after, I don't know when they got married, but this photo right here is for the fans. Pretty cool, right? Gary Glitters. Chris Welch takes a look at Gary Moore's band for his new album, which includes Whitesnake's Ian Pace and Neil Murray, plus Charlie Hoon, ex of Ted Nugent, and Tommy Iyer of Greg Lake's band. Gary Glitters. Gary Moore. Gary Moore was a beast, monster guitar player, and I think the next year he did a solo album. I forgot what it's called, but it was great. It was his solo album was really good. The End of the World. I think the song is called End of the World. Oh, sorry, but he had a solo record the next year, I think, 83, 84, and featuring The End of the World, monster guitar album. All right, here's more on the interviews. All right, Sounds. Britain's top-selling rock weekly, a hunk of heavy metal. So remember, this one already covered Kiss, Fire. Look at these band names. Look, Fire Clown. They don't have a chance. How do you have a chance to succeed in 80s metal with a name called Fire Clown? Then let's go see Queensryche and Fire Clown. I'm gonna go see ACD. Who's opening up for ACDC or Kiss? Fire Clown. What? Fire Clown. Straw Dogs. These are lame names. And sometimes the names get like very Tanzam. That's a dumb name, Tanzam. But again, maybe they were big in the UK and I don't know about it, obviously, right? But Fire Clown? You've never heard of Fire Clown. But I bet you if you go on YouTube, if you type in Fire Clown 1982, that's how you're looking up stuff on YouTube. Type in Fire Clown 1982 heavy metal. You'll probably find something out there by them. Or look at these concerts. You got Magnum. You got Cross. You got Foreigner on tour. You got Rothschild. Samson's on tour. Demon is on tour. Bernie Marsden is on tour. Heaven. Yeah, so this is the group shot, and they have a heavy metal video. I forgot what it's called. Maybe it's called In the Beginning, I think. Let me see if I can blow this up. No, I can't. I can't blow it up right there. Gonna get that out of the frame. But yeah, this is I remember this look. This looks heavy. They were a good band, Heaven, but they disappeared. I think they had like 1 or 2 albums and they disappeared. For whatever reason they broke up. But remember Stone Fury? Stone Fury was good too. They broke up and then he became Kingdom Come. I have Stone Fury. I love Stone Fury. Look at 38 Special, Donnie Van Zant. Look at this, what's that, a Les Paul Jr.? I think it's a Les Paul Jr. But yeah, 38 Special, they dominated 82, 83 era. In the Club, Kilowatts. So these were sections about who's in the club. Heroes but no fools. We're just waiting for the right deal. Saracen. So look, isn't that sad? They're waiting for the right deal. So no one basically is signing these guys. So they're touring probably all over the UK, Europe, to get a record label. Or to even make it big in the US. It just didn't work out for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like it probably got a drummer, a bass player, a singer, and 2 guitar players probably, right? A rhythm and lead. Either one's a keyboardist and a guitar player, or you got 2 guitar players, bass, drummer, and singer. Right, look at Or. Look, that's a pretty cool picture, right? Or, look at this beautiful Fender Stratocaster. Again, never heard of the band Or, but here they are. And there they are, Thunderstick. So here's Thunderstick, and there's the band Or. Let me know if you heard of the band Or Thunderstick. Back to Thunder. Look at this mask with the glitter. Look at this mask. So this band is Back to Thunder. Alright, some Reading Rock 82. So here, who's playing? Gillan, Twisted Sister, Mama's Boys. Plus full festival preview on sale August 12th. Alright, Midge from Ultravox, ABC, Duran Duran. So look, this is new wave. Midge, ABC, Duran Duran, Bow Wow Wow, Bauhaus, Angelic Upstarts, Talk Talk. I love Talk Talk. AC/DC, Judas Priest, Kiss, Screaming Politi, Billy Idol, Kid Creole, plus Madness, Fun Boy 3. I love that. The Cure, Infra Riot, Mick Karn, Damn, The Samson, Scorpions, Noise. At your newsstand now. So look, here's more Kiss. Pen Pals. Classified. We're almost done with this issue, folks. Look at these posters. Want to order posters? Look at this lineup here. Probably day 1, day 2 maybe, or all in one day. Again, we already talked about the Guitar Heroes magazine. And this probably is the last of it. No, it's not. Hold on. So look at this picture with Rob Halford and Cheryl Rickson. Penthouse Pet. So look at Robert. All leather, clad in leather. And then we have, look at this beautiful guitar. Rosewood fretboard. And the headstock is painted in this beautiful steel blue. So here's a nice Fender Telecaster where the headstock is painted. Usually they're not painted, but here it's painted. Got Nancy Wilson of Heart, Guitar Heroines. They're pretty cool, right? She was good. Letters to the editor. Look, remember I told you a couple of issues back where Matthias Jab had his own Super Strat? Here he is. Look, his own Stratocaster body. He found the pickguard with just a humbucker plate opening right there, and there's nothing here. No single coil, no middle pickup, but either he had it made this way or they started selling them this way. 1982 though, he had his own Super Strat. Black, white pickguard. I think they have white pickups there. But look, he's got a Floyd Rose up there. He's got a Floyd Rose here. And that's where he plays Blackout. Make up your mind, Michael. See Michael Schenker. Are you going to play with us? Are you going to play with the Michael Schenker group? Are you going to play with UFO? Make up your mind. Again, Motorhead right there. Beast on Chicken. And this must be the last page of the magazine. Okay, look. Classics Cuts. AC/DC Hell's Bell. Great picture here of Angus Young. Go back to the cover. And there you have it. That was the number 21 issue, July 29th through August 11th issue of Kerrang! Released in 1982, featuring Kiss and Gene Simmons on the cover. And again, that picture looks to be from 1975, the Kiss Alive era, just by the makeup and that photo, to me, because they didn't look like that in 1982. Alright, give me your thoughts on this issue. Let me know what you thought about these bands. Let me know if you heard of SOS, Samson, Tigers, or Thunderstick, Demon, Chinatown. Let me know. I never heard of these bands, but they're showcasing you the bands that they wanted to feature in this issue of 1982 back in the UK. That's what this magazine is from. Alright, I'm Tony. Thank you for joining me. Any questions, comments, or feedback, leave them below. Stay tuned for a lot more content, a lot more vintage magazine reviews. Alright, I'll see you all in the next video.